Hey everyone, it's Christina Tosi from Milk Bar. Welcome to our West Coast flagship in Los Angeles, California. I'm gonna bring you behind the scenes today as we mix up one of my favorite savory baked goods, the Pepperoni Bomb. Think cheesy, oozy center of pepperoni wrapped around a gorgeous bagel dough. It's time to get into the kitchen. Let's go. The Pepperoni Bomb is super straightforward. To make the internal plug, that pepperoni, cheesy, molten lava filling, we use the 20-quart mixer to mix together some shredded Parmesan cheese, some mozzarella cheese, and some pepperoni. So I use the paddle attachment to break those slices of pepperoni down. The paddle attachment with the motor of this 20-quart Legacy mixer is strong enough to make me not have to pull out a meat grinder or a knife and a cutting board to chop it down. And we need a little bit of tomato sauce to really turn up the pepperoni pizza flavor vibes of this bomb. I love the size of this thing. It's just enough to wrap my arm around. This scoop just ensures that every pepperoni bomb gets the same exact measurement of the cheesy pepperoni mixture. And each one of these rounds gets an additional slice of pepperoni on top. So from here, we'll finish scooping the rest of the mixture, topping it with pepperoni, and then we'll give it a hard freeze as our bread dough proofs so that we can assemble them and get them in the oven quick. We're gonna mix bread dough. In fact, it's our signature bagel dough for this pepperoni bagel bomb. I have an incredibly heavy-duty dough hook because we're going to be kneading a very lofty, hefty weight of yeast-risen dough. The first place to start is with yeast. So that fresh yeast goes into the bowl first, a whole lot of water. I whisk together my water and my fresh yeast. I'm gonna add my sugar, my dry active yeast, and my salt on top of that. Now I'm going to add some of my bread flour. And thank goodness this mixer has an incredible power lift because I would not be able to get it up into place on my own. We're going to use the stir function so we do not have a flour shower, just to get the bread flour and the other dry ingredients incorporating with the fresh yeast and water mixture. I stream in a little bit of grapeseed oil. It's a flavorless, colorless oil. It gives a little enrichment to an otherwise ordinary dough. The tricky part about bread dough is it doesn't happen quickly. It happens at a slow pace. In order to develop the gluten properly, you need the mass to come together into a solid state, and from there you need to knead the dough on a slow speed for 7 minutes. All right, so I'll bring this dough all the way around. And I can tell by the look of it, I have that nice sheen from the oil. We're gonna let it rest and proof for about an hour so that yeast can start to do its work, develop flavor, and give a lift to the dough before we portion it off and wrap it around those delicious pepperoni and cheese rounds that we made earlier. So I have all the dough that I need. I give each layer just a little bit of the bread flour. From here, I flatten each one of these dough rounds, and I take my pepperoni rounds and I stick them pepperoni side down. Once these pepperoni rounds are in place, I basically take 4 sides of the dough, top and bottom, right and left, and I fold them over into almost a package-like X. I invert the dough and flip it over. We egg wash the tops of these bombs. As it bakes, it's gonna give it a little additional sheen. I'm going to very generously top these bombs with mozzarella and Parmesan cheese that was part of our pepperoni bombs, and a single pepperoni. And then I'll whisk them away to the oven to bake for 15 to 20 minutes. The pepperoni pizza bagel bomb.